So, folks, we gotta talk about Iran again. Unfortunately, this is going to be a recurring, important thing for us to talk about, and it's I'm coming back after the weekend. I haven't been covering politics in the last couple of days, and oh boy, it turns out war doesn't take a weekend off, does it? Things have continued to deteriorate in Iran and around the world. And, well, there was a bit of a silver lining insofar as, at least according to Middle East Eye, Iran outlined the conditions that would be required for the war to end, which is very difficult. It's difficult to really articulate here, mostly because, well, we know that the United States is not going to do these things. And also, Iran gets to dictate when the war ends as well as the United States, because it's a two-way street. And so these are the starting positions from Iran, right? Some big asks here. Guarantees that the war will not recur. Fair. Closure of all U.S. military bases in West Asia. Probably not going to get that. Full reparations to Iran by the U.S. and Israel. Deserved. An end by the U.S. and Israel of all regional wars, including against all Iran-aligned groups. Implementation of a new legal system over the Strait of Hormuz. And handing over elements of hostile media to Iran. And now, what exactly constitutes elements of hostile media to Iran? Unsure about that. To be very clear, these are apparently the official reason or official requirements that they are giving for what it would take for the war to end, which I do want to note is progress from prior to this, which was we're not going to stop. We are not going to stop until pain is felt. So I guess in a way, this is this is movement towards a ceasefire potentially. Well, let's take a listen to the Treasury Secretary talking. When was this? Yesterday.
Every day, we are taking out their missiles, their missile systems, and the factories that build those missiles. And now the General Kane, Secretary Hegseth, are leading a campaign to destroy all the fortifications along the Straits of Hormuz.
Just to put a fine point on this, though, is the president in the process of winding down this war or escalating the conflict?
Again, they're not mutually exclusive. Sometimes you have to escalate to de-escalate, Chris.
Okay, NBC News is reporting that President...
Can I just say how angry it makes me that there's just no response to that from a journalist on the other side of the table? Like, sometimes you have to escalate to de-escalate. He says as if it's like a totally natural thing. What the fuck do you mean, sir? Sometimes you have to shoot a guy in order to de-escalate the situation. Yeah, alternatively, you shoot the gun, miss the guy, and then that guy shoots you back. Now you're in a firefight. like sometimes escalating a situation just escalates it, actually. He's trying to be a Temu Donald Rumsfeld? I guess so, yeah. It's so preposterous every single day. Now, let's take a look at some Fox Business news with Maria Bartiromo here.
Welcome back. I just spoke with President Trump, and he told me that Iran wants to make a deal badly. He said that the talks have been ongoing. I said, how much longer will this conflict go on? He said the talks, I said 5 days to halt or postpone strikes on the electrical infrastructure. It could happen sooner, he said, but I have put down 5 days. I asked him what his reaction is to Iranian state television saying that there are no talks, and he said he's not sure what they are referring to because the most recent talks happened, in fact, last night. with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner and their counterparts. When I asked about the Iranian TV saying that no talks have happened, he said it's hard to get any information there because of the U.S.'s blowing up so much of their infrastructure. So again, he wasn't sure what Iran state TV was talking about, because the most recent talks, he said, happened last night with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. Again, the president just told me moments ago that the Iranians want to do a deal badly. The market, of course, has reversed course this morning after the president posted this morning in the middle of a big decline in markets. He said that he has directed the military to postpone strikes on the electrical infrastructure and the power plants for 5 days.
Now, you might be asking yourself, wait a minute, striking the electrical grid? What's all that about? So, just 2 days ago, Donald Trump posted this: If Iran doesn't fully open without threat the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours from this exact point in time, the United States of America will hit and obliterate their various power plants, starting with the biggest one first. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Now, to be very clear here, no.
Feel like I am listening to Bo Burnham's repeat stuff, so much repetition in there.
Yeah. Well, it's because Fox News journos are panicking, but they also understand that on Fox News that their job is to coddle the market. Like, their job is to coddle the market. So when Maria Bartiromo goes on there and says, yep, good news, they're negotiating, it is to inflate the market. That is what is happening. In real time, every single day on Fox News, what you are seeing is just market manipulation. Over and over and over again. Because Donald Trump is just getting on Truth Social and making shit the fuck up as he goes. Like, this is the declaration that you intend to do a war crime on Iran. Like, this is where we're going to do some collective punishment against Iran and Iranians. We are going to attack the civilian infrastructure of this country, right? And then, of course, the deadline comes, and he says, "Whoa! We're not gonna bomb their infrastructure. Of course, we negotiated. I gave them a 5-day reprieve. Like, it's just bullshit. No negotiations have taken place. The Iranians are saying point blank over and over again, no negotiations are taking place. Over and over and over again. Right? And I mean, it's pretty clear when you watch him talk about this that he has no idea what the fuck he's doing. And he's just smart enough to be aware that he's in deep shit.
Look at the way they attacked unexpectedly all of those countries surrounding them. It was not supposed to be. Nobody was even thinking about it. But they wanted to take over the Middle East, and they wanted to knock out Israel permanently. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they would have been able to do that.
Wow, I mean, look at how they attacked all those countries around them. Nobody would have expected that. Nobody would have expected Iran, a regional power, with a sizable military, to attack our bases in other countries around them. Like, as if you're not the president of the United States with the most advanced surveillance capabilities on the planet. As if you don't have, like, 10,000 guys whose entire job it is to tell you exactly what to do here. Like, they would have told you this is exactly what would happen. Like, good God. It's really fucked up. But here's Trump again, completely backed into a corner. and just like very obviously not having any idea what to do.
What about the Strait of Hormuz? Who's going to be in control of that?
That'll be opened very soon if this works.
How soon? And who's in control of it? Will Iran still be able to control the flow of oil?
Be jointly controlled.
By who?
Maybe me. Maybe me.
You want the United States to be in
Me
control
and the Ayatollah, whoever the Ayatollah is, whoever the next Ayatollah. Look, and there'll also be a form of a very serious form of a regime change. Now, in all fairness, everybody's been killed from the regime. They're really starting off. There's automatically a regime change. But we're dealing with some people that I find to be very reasonable, very solid. The people within know who they are. They're very respected. And maybe one of them will be exactly what we're looking for. Look at Venezuela, how well that's working out.
Like, I mean, he's out there being like, well, we killed everyone we could have negotiated with, but we're negotiating with some really good people right now. But, you know, maybe one of them is exactly what we're looking for. There's already a new Ayatollah. Like, there's already a new supreme leader. What are you talking about? Like, we're just going to keep killing him until we get a guy who's going to do what we want. Is like, that's not diplomacy, and that's not like any way that you are going to get people in Iran to do what you want. Like, at all. Like, he's just, maybe I will control it. Me. I'll own the Strait of Hormuz. Like, it's genuinely insane. Genuinely fucking insane. He's just trying to be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's up. It's just, maybe me. Maybe I'm up. Not even proper gunboat diplomacy either. It's not proper gunboat diplomacy, if you can call anything proper gunboat diplomacy, because he has no idea what the fuck he's doing. The reason I paired these two clips is because he's saying in the first one, essentially, like, yeah, no one would have ever expected Iran to be acting like this. And that he's like, well, who knows? Iran's acting like this, attacking everyone. They're crazy. They can't be trusted with a nuclear weapon. But also, I'm talking with the strongest guys. I'm talking with the solidest guys. And who knows? Maybe one of them has something we want. Like, it's crazy. It's just actual insanity. You know? Is he still calling it an excursion? He wasn't even calling it an excursion at the time. That was just something that dribbled out of his mouth hole for like half a second. It's the only time I've heard him call it that. All right. Also, in case you're wondering how Republicans who get paid to shill for Republicans feel about this, let's go over to one of PragerU's up-and-coming influencers here.
Iranian regime, you hoes do not want this smoke. Now free Iran and walk with me. So polymarket odds are saying that we are going to war with Iran very soon. So my message to the regime is do not get beside yourselves. I know y'all see the sassy man epidemic happening in America, but don't be fooled. We still have plenty of Republican men ready to come through with all the smoke. Google Florida man and any day, and that's exactly who we're having on your musty behinds. And the gag is, we're so advanced now that we could send our weakest links like White Dudes for Harris, and they can still control a drone to mutilate everything y'all got going on. We said we weren't going to take it as far as we did in Japan when we basically dropped 2 sons in them, but I'm not opposed to running that back. Y'all will really feel the impact of FAFOing, so please keep it cute.
This guy is frankly heinous. Like, it's not AI, guys. Is he AI? No. Not everything is AI. This guy is a real man. This is a real man who works for PragerU, guys. This is a real guy. So it's not a joke? No, this is a real guy on PragerU's payroll. Why would it be AI? It's just a guy walking down the street. They don't need to AI this. Like, not everything that's stupid is AI.
On the way to work tonight, gas was $4.19 in my area LMAO.
Jesus Christ. Just sounds like it? Well, it sounds like it because this man does not talk like a human being. Right? He talks like a fucking demon. Right? Like, this guy just talks like It's like if somebody resurrected the corpse of John McCain via some foul necromancy and then taught it Gen Alpha slang. It's genuinely crazy. That guy wasn't being sarcastic. No. He has an entire channel where he's like this just nonstop for PragerU. I legit thought that was a hilarious joke. Nope. Nope. Oh, his last show was 5 months ago?
People be much more comfortable with rioting.
Yeah, here he is.
Looting, crime, and making up excuses for all kind of reasons. Is that like an angelic overlay on George Floyd? Country Will. Mr. Rodriguez, I'm gonna need you to tell Country Will to be careful with
if I would have seen this, I certainly would have been like, what gives?
Angelic glow over on George Floyd. That is crazy. Anyway, child, R.I.P. Mr. Floyd. But that and have intellectual discussions. But as those are becoming more taboo, you're seeing more violent behavior. I've given a shout out a couple times now to...
You're seeing more violent behavior, says man who 5 months later will advocate for nuclear weapons to be deployed against Iran. Yeah, how could people become more violent? Says guy walking down the street in flip-flops after saying that children should be fucking vaporized. God, this guy sucks. Yeah, he has like a fucking Twitter and everything. Oh, he still says he's a PragerU personality. He calls himself Uncle Tom's favorite nephew. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Attacking Hassan. It's gross as hell. He's more known for his shorts. Yeah, no, that's fair. He does like a lot of Instagram reels and stuff. That's mostly what I know him for. But I saw him first on the PragerU live streams, you know? Oh, God. Anyway, how are people who have military experience taking this, the president of the United States threatening to bomb civilian infrastructure to punish a country for its geopolitical actions? Let's take a look at a retired lieutenant general, what he has to say about this.
But the problem is, like you said, within 48 hours, this doesn't even give the military time to say, we can't do that. This is illegal. This puts us in violation of the laws of war, and we could all be brought toward the criminal court in The Hague. I mean, I tell you what I would do if I'm a commander in this operation and I even hear the president say these are the things we're going to do. I would say I'm not doing it as the commander, and I'm not allowing my forces to do it. It's an illegal act, and we vow as part of our constitutional oath not to conduct unlawful activities. But the problem is,
like, that is how the military should respond to orders to bomb civilian power plants. Like, that is exactly what people should do. And yet, let's just hear what Lindsey Graham, one of the biggest cheerleaders for this war, what he's saying about it right now.
Program has been obliterated, and they're running out of money. So here's what I tell President Trump. Keep it up for a few more weeks. Take Carg Island, where all of the resources they have to produce oil. Control that island. Let this regime die.
Just want to say, Carg Island is not where they have all of their resources to produce oil. Carg Island is just a shipping point. It's where they ship out 90% of their oil. However, they have other ways to ship out their oil should Carg Island be taken, and they can just turn off the pipe that goes to Carg Island. They don't have to, the civilian infrastructure there is really, really useful for doing that. The energy infrastructure there is useful for doing it. They don't need it to ship oil out. It would be an incredibly expensive blow, but they could just start sending it the other way. I legit think suffering makes him excited. I mean, yeah, the amount of money that Lindsey Graham is probably making off of this is insane. It's probably incalculable.
I own a vine.
Is this going to, though, take Kharg Island? Is it going to involve U.S. troops on the ground? Let me just read you something from The Atlantic. Does an assessment on that. They say U.S. troops may well take Kharg Island. We believe in their ability to do so, but only to endure ballistic missile strikes, drone attacks, petrochemical smoke, all without a reliable means of obtaining logistical support. The result could be a grinding war of attrition. They talk about how far away they would be from resupply.
I'm sort of tired of all this armchair quarterbacking. This has been an amazing military operation. God bless the fallen.
But it's a difference.
God bless the fallen, he says, clearly like salivating at the thought of all the riches he's going to reap from this. Like, guys, I've shown you a map of where Kharg Island is. Okay, do I have to show it again? Just real quick. Kharg Island is way over here. It's right next to Iran. Like, literally anything, like, within this mountainous-ass region of Iran can strike Kharg Island. The idea that you would just, like, plop a few thousand Marines there, and they'd just, like, hold it indefinitely, hold it for, like, months, it's lunacy. It's just straight-up lunacy. Let's just take a quick look. Because there are, of course, aerial images of Kharg Island, right? Let's just take a quick look. ABC News here. There's basically nowhere you can just like hole up and be okay. Because this is all oil storage right here. All of these circles down here, it's all oil storage. And like, if that blows up, you're just going to be inhaling that smoke. You have to, like, be over on this part of the island. It's not a big island. You are basically just sitting ducks. You dig your own tunnels. You dig your own little bunkers. Like, if you get sent here, it's like a death sentence. And there's no one for you to fight. Like, once you take the island, like, okay, you took the island. Now what? I guess you just have to not die. And, hey... What about resupply? You're gonna get, like, the United States can't even get, like, ships right now through the Strait of Hormuz, right? How are you going to resupply them? I guess solely via air? Like, you're just gonna airdrop food? You're gonna airdrop different medical supplies, etc. If you do try to do that, Iran is going to be monitoring that place nonstop. Any supplies dropped on the island afterwards are just going to be the targets for any kind of bombs or missiles or drones that they have on hand. Feels like Okinawa all over again, size-wise. Well, funny that you should mention that. Let's
when we talk about troops on the ground.
I trust the Marines. Not that guy. I trust DOD. We got 2 Marine expeditionary units sailing to this island. We did Iwo Jima. We can do this. The Marines, my money is always on the Marines. I don't know if you take the island or you blockade the island, but I know this. The day we control that island, this regime, this terrorist regime, has been weakened. It will die on a vine. And here's what I want to do. I want to get with Chris. I want to...
We did Iwo Jima. We can do this. Not a war, though. It's not a war, but we are going to compare different military actions directly to World War II.
Sprint to peace. As the war winds down, I want peace to ramp up. The reason we don't have Saudi Arabia and Israel making peace is October the 7th, 2023. Iran, through Hamas, attacked Israel, stopping normalization. I want to take up and complete what Biden started. As soon as we get Iran defanged so they can never do another October 7th, I want to start up peace talks between Saudi and Israel this year. I want a peace deal between Saudi and Israel normalizing, ending the Arab-Israeli conflict. It's been going on for 2,000 years this year, and you can't do it with a lethal Iran. So we're weeks away from this Iranian regime not having the capability to stop peace.
Okay, very quickly, though, because
also, Iwo Jima was dug into, right? It was heavily fortified. I don't know that by the time U.S. troops get there, I don't know that there are going to be any Iranian troops left on that island. right? Like, it seems to me that, like, it's just going to be a bunch of Marines sitting on a fucking beach and getting absolutely pounded by munitions. I don't see how it goes any other way. Arab-Israeli conflict going on for 2,000 years? Yeah. Again, every single evangelical, Southern politician right now is just like creaming their jeans over the idea of this being like the culmination of like 2,000 years of warfare to summon Jesus Christ too. You know? It's genuinely insane. Absolutely fucking lunatic. But, good thing is, all of this was worth it. It's all been worth it, guys, because right now, America is safer than it has ever been, thanks to Donald Trump.
Harris. The president, as you know, was in Memphis today, highlighting the success of his safety task force there with the attorney general, with the secretary of war, Pete Hegseth. There's been 7,000 plus arrests since September, sir. It's clear to me the Iran war is not distracting him from also protecting people here at home. Is that your sense?
Yeah, there's no doubt that our country is safer and secure than before President Trump was sworn in. Look, our borders are secure. No one can argue that differently. Here in Washington, D.C., it's day and night.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, everyone, Senator Roger Marshall agrees. We're safer now than ever before.
Since he took over and brought in the National Guard as well. We're seeing fentanyl poisoning drop across the country, murder rates down. All those things are happening.
And as we all know, Iran was behind all of that. Iran behind the fentanyl. Iran behind the murder rates.
Happening because of President Trump's emphasis on law and order. And again, you got the Harris.
Like, we are so safe right now that the U.S. Department of State has issued a travel warning for all Americans everywhere. We're so safe right now. Hey guys, don't you feel safe? Don't you feel fucking safe? Now that everyone, everywhere, all Americans have to be on heightened alert? Don't you fucking feel safe that the very day that this fucking Senator Goon is out here saying that Donald Trump has made us safe in every conceivable capacity, look at how safe you are having a travel warning issued for every American that is outside of the country, including... Like, just, I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. These lying sacks of shit. Every single Republican lying sack of shit. So tired of winning. My God. It is fucking insane. Every day, they go out there and they just lie nonstop. They lie nonstop. It's crazy. But let's just dig into this a little bit here, okay? A worldwide caution alert. Americans worldwide, especially in the Middle East, to exercise increased caution as groups supportive of Iran may seek to target U.S. facilities or Americans around the world. Hey, you know what we didn't have to worry about before Donald Trump? That exact thing happening. Hey, we didn't have to worry about Iranian retaliation. The same way we didn't have to worry about, by the way, the Strait of Hormuz being closed. We didn't have to worry about the Strait of Hormuz being closed until Donald Trump started bombing Iran. Iran stole the Lindbergh baby. Oh, God. Everything is so fucking stupid. It's so stupid right now. And you know what? But wait, guys, maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe I'm being too severe on Donald Trump. Maybe, Maybe Sean Duffy's right. Maybe we need to be a little bit nicer to Donald Trump. After all, have you considered it's his birthday?
But again, I think we have to offer the president grace. We know the president cares about the economy, gas prices for the American people. He's talked about that frequently and often. He also cares about peace, and a lot of people don't give him credit for that, but he's proud of the conflicts that he resolves, and he doesn't want to see conflict. I hear him talk behind closed doors about the number of young men and women who are lost in battles around the world. He cares about that. So I think, again, he cares about the economy, but also we can't have Iran shooting at American bases like they have for the last several years. They can't hold the economy hostage where 20% of the oil comes through the Strait of Hormuz. I I think when you look in the law.
Oh my God. Look, he cares about peace. He's a real big man of peace. All right? He's such a big man of peace that he started bombing Iran unprovoked. He's just a you know those people who are so committed to peace that they start doing mass shootings. They're just so peaceful, those mass shooters. Like, are you kidding me right now? It's insane. Insane. But what he really needs right now is grace, guys, because he cares about your higher gas prices. That's why he started this chain of events that has increased your gas prices by like 75%. Oh, God. But what really kills me here is this part right here, all right?
Years. They can't hold the economy hostage where 20% of the oil comes through the Strait of Hormuz.
I'm sorry, what exactly are you proposing to not send 20% of the world's oil through the Strait of Hormuz? What exactly? That's just how the logistic line has to be. Like, the oil has to go through the Strait of Hormuz. It's the only way to get it out of the Gulf. We can't have that. Well, I mean, I guess you... I'm losing it. I'm losing it, guys. But guys, it's really important right now not to be mad at Donald Trump. You have to have grace for him, okay? You have to have grace, because if you don't have grace for him, his feelings are going to get hurt. And if his feelings get hurt, he might bomb more countries, okay? So we have to have grace for him right now. He's got a gun held to the head of the world, all right? He's crazy. You have to give him grace.
I think when you look in the long run, he's trying to make life better for America, more secure for America, especially when you have Iran that has now missiles that we saw a couple days ago that can travel 2,500 miles and hit European capitals. And if they had nukes, even worse. So, again, this is a long-term strategy that's going to make everyone better off, and I think the economy stronger.
Yeah, it'd be a real shame if a country that had missiles that could travel 2,500 miles to hit targets in another country. It'd be really bad if a country used those missiles, huh? It'd be really bad if, say, like some kind of really large, powerful country with like missiles that could fly 2,500 miles started just raining missiles and bombs down on other countries unprovoked. It'd be pretty crazy. It'd be pretty bad. That country should absolutely be condemned. Oh wait, that country is the United States. But yeah, we need to give him grace, everybody. We need to give him grace. Hey, remember how we talked about the other day about how Israel hitting Iran's energy infrastructure resulted in Iran retaliating and hitting Qatar's liquefied natural gas facilities, specifically one of the largest natural gas facilities in the world. Well, turns out things are getting worse in that regard, specifically because all of the shipments that left the Middle East are about 10 days out. The last shipments to leave the Middle East of liquefied natural gas are about 10 days out from port, meaning that after that liquefied natural gas is offloaded in 10 days, shipments are going to stop. And that is going to have massive knock-on effects in 100,000 different ways. And there's not really a backup, because Qatar and that particular facility is responsible for about 20% of the world's liquefied natural gas. And this is going to be rough as hell.
I'm actually for giving Trump grace. I remember hearing in a song that grace will bring you home. So maybe the grace I give him will send him back to hell.
Too true. Too true. Also, didn't Grace from Will and Grace like have a fall from grace? I can't remember. But maybe we can give Donald Trump that grace. Anyway, it's this is going to hurt everything, everywhere, all at once, and it's really, really bad. Only one LNG cargo from the Gulf is still scheduled to arrive in Asia, which buys 90% of the region's output.
A friend of mine just got back from being in India the last 3 weeks. She said where she is from they already ran out of gas to cook with and you can't get electric cookers.
Yep, it's like, I want people to realize that part of the incredible toll that is being paid right now is being paid by not the United States directly, but by basically every other country on Earth. Like every other country that is in, especially like Southeast Asia, is paying this price far more than we are. But what is going to happen as a result of this is every place on Earth is going to hate the United States, because the United States is the catalyst for why they are suffering, right? And so what's going to happen is prices are going to go up, and people on the bottom of the economic ladder in the United States are going to be hit by that hard. But primarily, huge swaths of other countries are going to absolutely see us as the villains. Don't they already? I think they view it less as the United States in general is bad and more that Donald Trump is bad, but that is going to diminish. It's going to meld. It is going to be the United States is bad in its entirety, root and stem. And so this is going to be, this is going to come with geopolitical cost, is what I'm trying to say, right? Like, we used to have soft power insofar as, we had US aid, we helped supply food to struggling communities around the world, and that was to facilitate economic ties. It was to facilitate wealth generation for different American firms and nonprofits, etc. But ultimately, it also helped people, and it fostered a lot of goodwill in those populations towards the United States. And we got rid of those programs. So now effectively we are only doing the shit that hurts people. And that is going to come, that is a bill that is going to come due at some point. I don't know when, I don't know how, but whenever that bill comes due, it's not going to be fucking pretty. And, as far as here in the United States, well, soaring fuel and fertilizer prices hit Utah farmers who are already facing tight times. Yeah, we don't want to be a bunch of whiners, but high costs, tariffs, and water shortage are squeezing profits. Especially when it comes to farming here in America, we have to make some pretty colossal decisions about how to manage our farming infrastructure. Because I was actually just reading earlier today that apparently no one in the United States tracks how manure is shipped and used. There are no regulations regarding how nitrogen-rich manure is spread across the environment in farms. Nothing tracks it, and management of manure could actually yield way more profitable farms, but we don't do it. We just don't do it, right? That's bullshit. It is bullshit. Why are we growing water-intensive crops around Salt Lake City? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? The Salt Lake is drying up. We need to be shifting farms around. We need to be changing what crops are being grown where. We need to be managing our land way better than we are right now. It's all so dumb, but it's gonna get dumber. And I wish that this energy crisis could be a catalyst for us making better decisions as a country. But I fear it's going to have to get a lot worse before people actually start going, oh, hey, maybe we need to do things a bit differently. It's not enough for farmers to just be well, the price is going up a little bit. No, we need to actually have a whole sea change of what crops are grown where, how much land is relegated for like ranching, etc., etc., etc. Because like there are rivers drying up, there are aquifers dying, there are lakes drying up. Like it is really, really bad. All right, fuck it, I'm not watering my lawn anymore. Don't. Best thing you can do for your lawn is to kill it and replace it with the stuff that is native to the native plants to your area. It's also really beautiful. Native plants are gorgeous. It's just really frustrating to me. Diesel prices in Utah have spiked 40% or more this month. The Clawsons often use around 1,000 gallons a week during peak seasons. Fertilizer prices have gone up 50 to 70% since last year. Things are going to get a lot worse, and we're going to start feeling it throughout the entirety of the supply chain, okay, here in America. And also, in case you're wondering, how are the oil companies, how are the airlines, etc., how are these companies that rely on oil prices being low, how are they handling things right now? Well, in a letter to employees, United CEO Scott Kirby says the airline is prepping for oil to hit $175 a barrel and doesn't get back down to $100 per barrel until the end of 2027. So, we're gonna be seeing a lot of pain basically everywhere, because that kind of a price increase is going to cause a lot of stuff to shift around. And I do want to say $175 per barrel might be a conservative estimate. Okay? What is deeply troubling, by the way, in this letter here, stay focused on the long term. Many of you may remember in United's past that storm clouds like this caused United to furlough employees, defer aircraft orders, downgrade to regional jets, go through cost-cutting exercises, delay investments in the future, etc. We're not going to do that. We have financial firepower to continue to stay focused. But like, I like all these plans are subject to change if gas prices go even higher than what they're projecting, All of this is a huge problem, of course, but there is, thankfully, one group of people who's doing really well in all of this, of course. One group of people. We can thank this group of people for buoying America's economy in these dark times. And of course, I'm talking about the insider traders who are apparently somehow crazily getting an inside line on when Donald Trump is about to drop some big news related to oil and gas prices. So, our economy might be going down the tubes, but look, your best bet these days, find yourself an insider trader and make yourself as useful to them as possible. Maybe they will make you a servant in the soon-to-becoming apocalypse. Maybe you will be able to be their right hand, their Grima Wormtongue, if you will. Who can say? Anything's possible in Trump's America. What kind of serf do you aspire to be? So yeah, basically early this morning, before Donald Trump started talking about how Iran was talking with the United States, people started trading.
People fully comprehend the difference between shortage and outage. It won't matter how expensive the barrels are if there are no barrels.
That's true. Although, to be clear here, I do fully expect that the United States is not going to be out of gas. There might be limited outages here and there, but I fully expect prices to skyrocket, and like across everything, like food, goods, any kind of consumer good, gas, obviously, but like other places on the planet are going to have outright outages. It's gonna be really fucking nasty, to say the least. Also, Maghar, thank you for the $5 super chat. But yeah, you can literally see here the volume spike. Just suddenly a lot of trading about 15 minutes prior to Donald Trump's post on Truth Social, which talked about Iran seemingly coming to the negotiating table, which I want to stress is not true at all. At all. It's all bullshit. And of course, the second it became clear that it was all bullshit, Bent crude went back over $100 a barrel because, uncertainty over Trump's Iran talk claims. I do have to say, I am unsure when the stock market acts like this. I'm unsure if it means that day traders are the stupidest people on the planet who just keep falling repeatedly for what Donald Trump says, or if they are assuming that other, the median stock trader is a complete and total rube, If essentially that you are just trading on the perception of the news itself, It means we're pretty fucked right now. It means economically we're pretty fucked right now. Yeah. Why not both? I've met a few people who day trade, and might be a little bit of both, with a little bit leaning towards one of those two things, and I think you might be able to intuit exactly which one I mean. It's so stupid. Now, I will also say that when Sean Duffy was talking about missiles hitting going 2,500 miles. He was specifically talking about this incident from a couple days ago. Iran targeted Diego Garcia base with ballistic missiles, according to the Wall Street Journal. And Diego Garcia base is out in the middle of the Indian Ocean. It's quite a ways away from Iran. It's unclear to me exactly why Iran would even be interested in targeting this base when they have so many other things to target locally. It's not as if they are particularly hurting for additional targets. It is interesting to note that Iran itself does not take credit for this, which one would imagine they would if they were trying to demonstrate their capabilities. Instead, Iran is saying that it is Iran is saying that it was a false flag from Israel, which is a strange thing to claim as well. So I just things are this missile strike in particular is very weird. It's very weird. Iran doing a full court shot. It just seems to me like if you had the ability to do this, you would want other people to know you have the ability to do this, and you would take credit for it. Yemen could have maybe done it. I don't think Yemen has the missile range to do it. Everything is strange. Maybe it would be a threat and demonstration of their power. Well, yeah, but if it's a threat and a demonstration of their power, then they wouldn't claim it's a false flag, I guess. The claim that it's a false flag would seemingly undermine the purpose of a threat and a demonstration of their power. Saudi Arabian false flag? I don't know that Saudi Arabia has missiles that can reach that far. So, I don't know. Just worth mentioning that that's weird as hell. Also worth mentioning that the United States is just so overflowing with particular drones as well as high-tech instruments that we're just losing shit. We're just losing shit right now. This was fascinating to me. A US-made armed military craft found in Turkey just washed up, fully armed, on the beach.
Gördün mü? Duydun mu sesi?
And of course, it was full of explosives, so they blew it up because they didn't want it to explode. Wait, was that a boat drone? Yes. Washed up on Turkey's shore. Man, I don't know what's going on with our military right now, but things are getting fucking insane. What was it doing there? Presumably to head over into the combat theater. That AI tech is working out great. I mean, that could also be it. It could also be working on AI parameters and just got fucking confused. Best military in the world, baby. All of that being said, folks, everything going on right now with Iran is insane and bad, and everything that Donald Trump is saying, like, oh, well, we're gonna blow up their civilian infrastructure, and well, actually, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do it 5 days from now. I mean, I fully buy that effectively what he's trying to do is buy time so that he can try and do what he did with Venezuela and get troops on the ground on Karg Island. Because again, every single person in the Trump administration right now seems to have bought the idea that if you just get boots on the ground on Karg Island, everything gets solved. All of your problems with Iran, they have to surrender. That's the rules. The rules is you gotta put boots on the ground in Karg Island and then they surrender. Like, that seems to genuinely be their entire thought process right now. And so Donald Trump, in my mind, is fully just wasting everybody's time. He's, leaking out information to insider traders, and they're making boatloads of money off of the market going up and down and up and down and up and down. And we know already that Lindsey Graham even said it, multiple Marine expeditionary units have been deployed and are being sent right now. A few days ago, we heard that one of these units was leaving port, and it would take them about, a little over a week to get over there. And so I think what's happening right now it is exactly what he was doing with Venezuela, pretending to negotiate, treading water, trying to say, no, maybe we will, maybe we won't, I don't know. And then, suddenly they're going to show up there, and Iran isn't going to be Venezuela about it. It's not, I'm sorry, you could even get, the new supreme leader. You could even get their new Ayatollah. And guess what? It would not change anything, even if you went in, captured him, and brought him to America, like Maduro. You would, Iran would continue. Their bureaucracy is set up specifically with plans if this happens. And so all that is going to happen is that you're going to get a bunch of Marines on a beach on Karg Island getting blown the fuck apart by different drone attacks, by various missile attacks. We're losing the capacity to intercept missiles even around our military bases and embassies. We don't have the anti-air infrastructure to stop what they're doing right now on Karg Island, or to stop what they're doing right now, let alone once we have troops on Karg Island. They'll be sitting ducks. They're just making more enemies for generations. Yeah, I mean, they've effectively killed any kind of anti-government movement that existed in Iran. No one who is anti-Iranian government in Iran is going to now be like, yay, America, the liberators. I love it when they come and blow up our schools full of children. I love it when they target our civilian infrastructure and kill civilians. It's my favorite. This has killed any kind of pro-democracy movement. Full stop. And Donald Trump doesn't know how to get out. It seems like he has no idea what he's doing constantly. And it just kind of seems he's trying to pull from the same playbook as Venezuela. And it's not going to work. And we're going to be even deeper in the shit. So that is my analysis of where we stand now after a couple days of not talking about Iran. It is real bad, to say the least. So, all that being said, folks, if you want to work towards making this not bad and work towards making this never happen again, we need to get organized. Organize with your local Democrats, organize with your local DSA. We need folks in the room to make your local Democrats more progressive. We need folks in the room to make your local DSA more effective. If you are interested in doing that, and every one of you should be, because we need people to actually give a shit and show the fuck up, use our Discord link, join our Discord, reach out to GamerG for help with your DSA, reach out to Dragonfly for help organizing with your local Democratic Party. Both have been organizers for a long time. They want to help you organize in these respective organizations. They have made their expertise available to you. If you are interested at all, I do encourage you to please join our Discord and reach out. Also, folks, if you don't want to join Discord for whatever reason, you can come over to riverboat.gg, and you can usually find Dragonfly or GamerG over there during stream. So, all that being said, folks, if you got anything out of this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, do the things that help the show grow. You know the drill. Well, where is Waldo? Thank you for the $5 Canadian. I certainly appreciate it. And also, last but not least, check out ImagenaOlivia.com, gender euphoric lingerie designed from the ground up for trans femmes, tested also with cis men, cis women, non-binary folks. And it fits. It is non-tucking lingerie that is beautiful, that is sexy, and it fits. It is incredible. I highly recommend it. Check it out. Link down in the doobly-doo, and let's keep on going.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, gaming, and plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord. Riverboat Jack. Riverboat.